Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. So today we are taking on Battle 51 of the Raditz event. Now, if you are new to the channel, please do consider subscribing. At least leave a like on the video if you are new. It would help me out a lot. We're just trying to grow the community as much as we can. And yeah, without further ado, let's jump into the team I used. So the best three I found that fit this event were these three. I personally felt that Cooler was the best option because I didn't have LF Freezer, so these three were definitely the best option, especially since he has Endurance, which helps a lot if you need to tank a Rising Rush, which the CPU does do. So if you do not have the Red Freezer, actually if you don't have any of these three units, let me know down in the comments, but you should if you did summon on the Namek banner, and if you did summon on the this recent LF banner, you should have at least pulled one copy of these three. I pulled this Freezer left, right, and center, up, down, left, right, up, in, and out, and I couldn't pull the Cooler. Thankfully, this recent banner gave me the Cooler, so made this event quite doable. Now, I'm going to suggest another team you can use, and that would be the a regen team. If you have Janemba, maybe you can use the Immobilize. I haven't actually used this myself. You can definitely use Purple 21. I think she will be an amazing unit for this event. And if you need a Yellow, use Perfect Cell or LF Piccolo if you have him. So those are my options. I'd highly recommend just, checking it out. Let me know what you guys think. You can even use Zamasu as a red option. But this is the team I used. And let me just show you the buffs that they are going to be receiving. And there they are. Let me just show you the equipment. So yeah, that's basically all I have to say. This event was very tricky, don't get me wrong. It took me quite a few attempts, but we won't talk about that. So yeah, without further ado guys, let's jump straight into the video. Alright guys, so there they are. Now, they were just pricks, quite frankly, with this event, because if you didn't pull an LF unit, you were going to struggle with this event. Reason being, your main threat is Bardock, who is green. Your second main threat is Raditz, who is purple. Both LF units were purple and yellow. Now, if you don't have them, like I say, as you can see in this video, it is doable. It's just much harder. Now, if you had purple Freezer, the LF Freezer, it would have been so much simpler for you, purely because he would have done a lot of damage. He had the Immobilize that he could use on this Bardock. He had constant blue cards, which were actually quite key in this. But Cooler is your best bet to doing this if you do not have him. If you want to use Lineage of Evil, I would highly recommend using this Cooler, because if you do not keep him alive, you will struggle. I don't think you'll actually be able to complete it if you do not keep that Cooler alive, because it's just what I noticed. I played this event countless times to try and figure out the best strategy to actually win, and this was the best one I came up with. Just try and evade as much as you can to draw out timing, like exactly what I'm doing, that forward sidestep thing, dash. The only thing you have to worry about is running out of time. That is the second biggest issue with this event, is that the time limit is horrible and is going to wreck you. Now, this is something I would highly recommend you try. I did this flawlessly this time. It's something I was trying to do for a few attempts, but I managed perfectly this time. I try to get a full hand of blue cards with one of my units. Preferably use it against the Raditz, because the Raditz is actually ridiculous. He does so much damage against you, it's actually kind of stupid. So that's what I would say, is highly recommend you get 3 blue cards if you can in your hand. You get 1 normal blue card in your deck, you get 1 blue card that is provided by the yellow Freezer, and 1 blue card that is provided by the red Freezer. So you shouldn't have any issues with that. And if you have LF Freezer, you'll have a constant supply of blue cards. You could have 3, even maybe 4 in your hand if you play your cards right. Of course, it's stupid to have 4 in your hand, because then you'd be wasting one of them, because you do have to choose them. So bottom line is, try get a full hand of blue cards against one of them. Like I say, preferably against the Raditz, because as you can see, the Goku is slightly squishier and doesn't tank as well as the Raditz does, and doesn't have as much health. So that's my main advice, is also beware that the CPU will more than likely always perfect vanish into a blue card. It doesn't matter who, doesn't matter when, they could have just used the blue card. They will have another one. The beautiful thing about Cooler is that he has blast armor. That helps him so much. Look at the damage that I'm actually doing against him when he's type neutral. You do no damage against him when he's type neutral whatsoever normally. So I was very, very pleased with what Cooler was doing in this event. And you've got to wait. If you decide to rush this Bardock, you have no choice but to wait until that little shield with the arrow through or whatever it is, that type neutrality is gone. Because if you do not, you'll do no damage against this Bardock. It's sad, but it's true, and you just have to watch out for it. I would recommend every time you vanish, don't go in with a strike card. I would highly recommend you use a blast card, because that does give you time to vanish out. Only issue with that is they do have a chance to perfect vanish. Here I decided, you know what, just get rid of the Goku. I felt that the Frieza had more than enough in his tank to get rid of him, especially with the blue card in my hand. So I chose Blast, and the chances of you getting guessed, I think, are pretty much 0, which is fantastic. If you got guessed in this, it would pretty much be impossible. So, realistically, as you can see, in terms of completing it in the time counts, I don't know what unit you'd have to use, but I was definitely not doing it. But as you can see, if you keep Cooler alive, get his buffs going, keep using green cards with him, he's unreal. He was the saving grace every single time I played this event, and he was, yeah, that's all I can say. He was just unreal. There I had no choice but to go in for a strike. Thankfully the CPU didn't get a perfect vanish, which helped me a lot. And here the Bardock was about to come in, if I'm not mistaken, but knowing my luck, he was going to jump in on the next blast card I used. So I had no choice but to do this, and if I lost Frieza here, I was actually not at all upset. The reason being is that if I lost the Frieza, I would have had another Rising Rush by the end of the game, hopefully if all RNG was on my side, and I would have done more damage, so with only 2 members left. Here I was very lucky it didn't wipe me out. You say how could it have wiped you out? It's Bardock. He might not be type neutral anymore. He is still ridiculous. So, like I say, keep your Cooler alive if you have him. Please, I hope you have him. If you don't, you're going to struggle, like I say. Here, the best course of action I had was to just go in with the damage and just do it. Because I had 10 counts left, and I was like, I don't have enough cards for Cooler to come back in. So I need all the damage I can get. I chose Blast, and then I'll get all the strike damage I can from this Frieza and a blue card, which is ideal. So, literally, I had just enough in the tank to be able to defeat this Bardock, and there you go, and that's how you defeat it. It comes down to a serious amount of luck. It really, really does. It sucks that it does, but it does. So, yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. If this did help you, please don't forget to leave a like. Please consider subscribing to the channel if you're new. I do these every time they come out, and I do other content as well if you want to check it out. And yeah, that's basically it. Good luck, guys. If you need help, I will help you. And until then, I will see you all in the next one.